Ho Chi Minh City is the biggest city in Vietnam with around 9 million people living there. It's one of the fastest growing cities in the world. And while it is a very busy city, there are plenty of cool things to see and do. If you want to know what those are, keep watching because today we're going to do a tour of Ho Chi Minh City of Vietnam. We're going to start our tour at Ben Thanh Market, which is the most popular market in Ho Chi Minh City. It's a great place to buy souvenirs and local specialties such as the famous Vietnamese coffee. But be prepared to haggle over the price if you shop here. Just like any other market, the market can get quite overwhelming with all of its different vendors and noise. So try to stick together as a group and watch out for your belongings. Right next to Ben Thanh Market, we find the People's Committee of Ho Chi Minh City. This building used to be the home of the President of South Vietnam from 1955 to 1976. Today, it's still the seat of the government of Ho Chi Minh City. Just down the road from the People's Committee, we find the Taoist temple called Bang Tam Po. This temple was built in 1909 by the Chinese in Vietnam. It's dedicated to 3 deities of the Chinese mythology, which are the Jade Emperor, the God of Wealth, and the Queen Mother of the West. The temple has beautiful architecture with many statues and offerings to the gods. It's also a peaceful oasis in the middle of the busy city. You can light some incense and make a wish or just relax and enjoy the atmosphere. If you walk a few minutes east from the temple, you will arrive at the Independence Palace, which is another important landmark in Ho Chi Minh City. It was built in 1966 and served as the presidential palace of South Vietnam during the Vietnam War. It's now a museum where you can learn more about the history of Vietnam. The palace has a unique design with a long balcony that stretches across the front of the building. There is also a large garden and pond in the complex. If you are interested in history, then this is definitely a place you should visit. After seeing the Independence Palace, we gonna take a taxi downtown to District 1, where we gonna visit the Fine Arts Museum. The museum has a diverse collection of Vietnamese and international art from traditional paintings to contemporary sculptures. You can also see some interesting artifacts from ancient civilizations such as the Cam people. The museum is well air-conditioned and has a nice cafe where you can relax after exploring the exhibits. Now we're going to go to the Reunification Palace, which was built in 1928 and served as the home of the President of South Vietnam from 1955 to 1976. It is now a museum where you can learn more about the Vietnam War and the reunification of Vietnam. The palace has a huge golden dome and a grand staircase. You can also see some luxury cars and helicopters that were used by the South Vietnamese government. We're going to take a stroll through the Saigon Zoo and Botanical Garden, which is one of the oldest zoos in Vietnam. It was established in 1924 and is home to over 2,000 animals and 1,200 plant species. You can see some rare and endangered animals here, such as the Javan rhinoceros and the Asian elephant. The zoo also has a nice lake and playground for children. So, it's a great place to spend an afternoon. Next up, we're gonna visit the War Remnants Museum, which is a sobering reminder of the human cost of war. The museum displays photographs and artifacts from the Vietnam War, including the infamous Napalm Girl. It's a very emotional experience to see the suffering that these people have endured. But we're not gonna stay in this area. We're gonna cross the Saigon River and visit the Cu Chi tunnels. These tunnels were used by the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War to hide from the enemy and launch surprise attacks. They are a vast network of underground passages that stretch for miles. You can crawl through the tunnels and see how the Viet Cong lived and fought. You can also learn more about the history of the Vietnam War from the knowledgeable guides. Now we're gonna go to Can Gio Mangrove Biosphere Reserve, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You can take a boat tour through the mangroves and see the local wildlife, including monkeys and birds. You can also learn more about the efforts to protect this fragile ecosystem from the effects of climate change. And for the foodies, we're going to visit Ben Thanh Market, which is a food lover's paradise. You can try some delicious local specialties like bun cha or pho. You can also buy fresh produce and seafood at the market. It's a great place to experience the authentic Vietnamese cuisine. And of course, no tour of Vietnam would be complete without visiting a floating market. So, we're going to take a day trip to the Sai Rang Floating Market, which is one of the largest floating markets in the Mekong Delta. You can see all kinds of boats and vendors selling their goods. From food to clothing to household items, you can find everything at the floating market. It's also a very picturesque scene with all the colorful boats and people. And last but not least, we're gonna visit the Vinh Trang Pagoda, which is one of the most beautiful pagodas in Vietnam. It was built in 1733 and is dedicated to the goddess of mercy. The pagoda has a unique design with a mix of Vietnamese and Chinese architecture. You can see intricate carvings and colorful statues inside the pagoda. It's also a very peaceful place to meditate and reflect, so that's gonna be our tour of Ho Chi Minh City. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave us a like. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks for watching.